Hi everyone, my name is Samuel E. Zerza for the SE channel. Thanks for tuning in, subscribe, and share as much as you can. Please take your vitamin C and vitamin D. Also take your zinc tablets, good for the immune. It works for me. Okay, especially these days, what's going on around the world and in the country too at the same time. But at the same time, just you got to build your immune system. I also take tonic waters, which is good too. It's got a little bit of quinine, hydroxychloroquine. Hint, hint, hint. But anyways, um, it seems like I'm gonna take a couple of speeches. I did like Melania's. It was a beautifully speech, beautifully written, beautifully said. And I don't know what they're talking about. The misinformation media, that it's dark, and I mean, this is night and day. Compare the Republican convention to the Democratic convention. It was doom and gloom. The Democratic Party. It was all about emotions, emotional. It was all about Donald Trump. It's about race, racism. This is about hope. And this guy here, Daniel Cameron, he's a Kentucky, I think the first Kentucky attorney general in Kentucky, and he's talking about his life. He's talking about himself. He's talking about the black community. He's talking about an independent mind, which is very important, not the sheeps, going out there with the fist all the time. And I'm seeing videos now that you have to do this. If you don't do this, they'll be screaming at you at restaurants. I mean, this is loony. And even Don Lemon is going around on CNN saying, please, Joe Biden, stop the riots. Not because he cares about the people's lives and people's businesses and etc. Concerning riots and people get shot, people get injured, and all the businesses, like all those 40, 50 businesses last night, Wisconsin. But what do they care? I mean, they care about stop the riots. Well, duh, stop the riots. What we're saying, most independent thinkers like this man here, and a lot of independents are like saying, "What the hell is this kind of the Marxism?" Anyways, let's just hear him a little bit here. I like what he had to say. I also wanted to maybe hear Sandman talk, but this was last night, Tuesday night, and I like what he has to say. I mean, I listened to him. Beautiful speech, beautiful, um, very powerful, especially for you young African Americans. Getting out there in the real world. You got to be an independent thinker. You don't want the Democratic Party and Marxist socialists telling you what to do all the time. This guy, you got to listen. Okay?
American Attorney General in Kentucky history. It is an honor to be with you as a proud Republican and supporter of Donald J. Trump. I was raised in Kentucky, just a few miles from Abraham Lincoln's birthplace. Our first Republican president believed in compassion, self-reliance, freedom, equality, and justice. Sadly, there are some who don't believe in this wisdom or in the better angels of our shared American history as they tear down the statues of people like Ulysses S. Grant, Frederick Douglass, and even Mr. Lincoln himself. Lincoln said, "Any nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure." And for Republicans, our heroes are those who propelled an imperfect nation ever forward, always striving to make life better for everyone.
Does this guy sound like he watches CNN or CNBC and he hates the world? You can tell he has an independent mind, which I like. Very smart, very intelligent. The way he speaks, and you can tell the delivery. Just listen to this.
Even as anarchists mindlessly tear up American cities while attacking police and innocent bystanders, we Republicans do recognize those who work in good faith towards peace, justice, and equality. In fact, it was General Dwight Eisenhower, a future Republican president, who said, "Democracy is a system that recognizes the equality of humans before the law." Whether you are the family of Breonna Taylor or David Dorn, These are the ideals that will heal our nation's wounds. Republicans will never turn a blind eye to unjust acts, but neither will we accept an all-out assault on Western civilization. My values were shaped by my faith and by my parents. I worked at their small coffee shop, meeting people from all walks of life. And I realized something. No matter who we are, everyone needs a cup of coffee. That lesson stuck with me because despite our differences, we all want the same things. For our children to have more opportunities than we did, to feel the dignity of work, and to believe that if you play by the rules, you can make a good life for yourself and your family. So the question is, will we choose the path that gives us the best chance to meet those universal desires? Or will we go backward to a time when people were treated like political commodities who can't be trusted to think for themselves? I think often about my ancestors who struggled for freedom. And as I think of those giants and their broad shoulders, I also think about Joe Biden, who says, if you aren't voting for me, you ain't black, who argued that Republicans would put us back in chains, who says there is no diversity of thought in the black community. Mr. Vice President, look at me. I am black. We are not all the same, sir. I am not in chains. My mind is my own. And you can't tell me how to vote because of the color of my skin. Joe Biden is a backwards thinker in a world that is craving forward-looking leadership. There's no wisdom in his record or plan, just a trail of discredited ideas and offensive statements. Joe Biden would destroy jobs, raise our taxes, and throw away the lives of countless unborn children. And he is captive to the radical left, a movement committed to cancel culture and the destruction of public discourse. They believe your skin color must dictate your politics. And if you fail to conform while exercising your God-given right to speak and think freely, they will cut you down. The politics of identity, cancellation, and mob rule are not acceptable to me. Republicans trust you to think for yourself and to pursue your American dream however you see fit. Mr. Lincoln said the dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise to the occasion. I believe Donald Trump can meet Lincoln's mandate, even as Joe Biden remains trapped by his own failed record and by the radicals who dominate his party. Let's be honest. No one is excited about Joe Biden. And so I ask you to judge the record. On criminal justice reform, Joe Biden couldn't do it, but President Trump did. On the economy, Joe Biden couldn't do it, but President Trump did build an economy that worked for everyone, especially minorities, and he will do it again. And on immigration, Joe Biden promises more to illegal immigrants than he does to you. But President Trump believes his highest duty is to the American worker. The choice is clear. Let me close with something my mom told me. This country's many faces comprise a family, not separate parts to be divided against each other. And like any family, we care for one another. We grieve together. We share our burdens and our struggles, and we celebrate our successes. And though we fuss and fight, we are not enemies. We are Americans, united by a collective faith in our Constitution and laws and the fundamental fairness they represent. We are defenders of life and of individual liberty, and we carry the mantle of Eisenhower and of Reagan to be a force for good in this world, and one that must always be reckoned with. That's my Republican Party, the party of Lincoln, that believes America is an indispensable nation, an evergreen tree, standing tall in a turbulent world. And that's why I am voting for Donald Trump for president. Thank you, and God bless.
Well, you heard it. This guy. See, this is what happened also when you believe in God. You know, you don't look at, you know, if you're black, if you're white, if you're green, if you're yellow. You know, you just look at the person's soul. And I just like the way he said at the end, thank you, God bless. I mean, this is what the Democratic Party, you know, omits all the time, God bless. There's no God bless in the Democratic Party. Um, all I have to say is like it's night and day. It's from the Democratic Party convention to this party to the Republican National Party convention. It's night and day, completely night and day. I don't know what they're talking about. Um, you know, they're giving us solutions, hope. There's diversity. I'm just imagining if it was, if the Republican Party be like all white, old, all white. You know, I would understand. But look, I mean, yesterday, you know, you had diversity. Today, diversity, and yesterday, diversity. Um, Great speech. I couldn't say it more. You know, the only thing is that we didn't hear from the Democratic Party. It's, you know, like they didn't, you know, um, they didn't talk about Antifa. They didn't talk about, you know, the Black Lives Matter riots. What's been going on? I'm talking about when I say Black Lives Matter. I'm not talking about the real lives Black Matter. I'm talking about the Black Lives Matter Incorporated, the one that the NBA, baseball, and all these big companies are pouring money because you know, they go to Act Blue. Take a look at it. They donate money. So basically, it's just a big donation to the Democratic Party. But this man I like. Respect, man. Take care. God bless. And please share as much as you can. This was a great speech. Take care.